Well, we finally made it through Washington, D.C. traffic and everything. Paid our $90 in tolls to drive through all that. Go through the Baltimore Tunnel and I forget what that bridge is called. I think it's the JFK Baltimore or Maryland Bridge. I don't remember. So now we're basically right on the outside of Philadelphia here. We're going to go past the Philadelphia airport. So usually Philly traffic on 95, it depends. Going northbound in the morning, it's not too bad. Usually you'll hit some traffic when you get by 78 there. But for the most part, northbound 95 through Philly ain't too bad. Now, if you get off on Philly and you go up the Schuylkill County Expressway, 78, yeah, that's a different. 76. Woo, 76. Go up 76 there, Schuylkill County Expressway. That's a different story. That's the great thing about being a reefer driver. They're very tight on scheduling sometimes, and usually the reason they're tight on scheduling is because they really don't need your load, and they're happy to knock you off the list for that day because they overbooked, and get to the next truck. So we'll see how this goes, and wish me the best. If I don't die, as you can see, like GTO here trying to be Mario Andretti. But hey, that's Northeast driving for you. I'll tell you what, that's one reason why a lot of guys don't want to come to the Northeast, just the traffic and the total ignorance, I guess you could say. So, I'm noticing a lot on YouTube, watching Snorlord and everything. It seems like the markets are getting worse. Like, I can't believe flatbed, is doing as bad as it is. Snorlord was talking about $1.50 a mile flatbed loads. Man, if I would have stayed over where I was, I probably would have been making less than a company driver. Heck, I know when I went to the house, I used to have to deadhead from the Hazleton area over there, Allentown area, out to Pittsburgh for flatbed loads because the market was that saturated with trucks. I couldn't get anything either I couldn't get anything or I couldn't get anything that paid over $1 a mile or $1.20 a mile, and I'm not gonna do tarping and chaining and stuff for $1.20 a mile. So I'd have to say that I kind of wish I made this move a lot sooner and got into dedicated freight. If I had my own authority, I probably would have ended up having to close it and hop onto a carrier such as this, doing dedicated work. But then again, supposedly there's brokers out there that are looking for trucks. Now, that being said, they might be looking, it doesn't mean they pay. But maybe guys are just so caught up. Maybe the influx of trucks out there, they're just, uneducated owner-operators that they don't know where to look. They don't know how to write emails. They're all doing point and clicks. That's the only thing I can think that's possibly happening, since there's, supposedly brokers are having a hard time finding drivers. And then on top of that, you got all the scammy stuff going on. Everything that's going on out there, me personally, I already started out in this. I'm already in it for the long haul. If you're new coming out here and you can somehow magically survive, you'll probably be better off if things, well, most likely when things come around. I'm not going to say that's going to be in a year or 2 or 3, but eventually the market's going to right itself, and the decent rates will come back. Things will start. Brokers, shippers will start paying a rate that can sustain the market. And if you're able to actually profit in this market now, then when the market does come back, you're golden. There's no way that you're gonna have problems, or you shouldn't have problems, at least if you can make it through this market. I think I'm gonna stay where I'm at for a very long time. I don't think I'm gonna go back into the spot market at all. It just doesn't make business sense. Now that being said, if I grow, which I want to, I might get my own authority and still stay here. I might have other people that'll run the spot market, but I think what I'm going to do is see if I can't grow next to this company and start my own thing. That's what I'm going to try to do. My goal from now on is to not run the spot market at all and get dedicated customers. I would say probably by next year, I'm hoping to have a second truck. My old truck is going to come back home, and I guess I'm going to probably put an engine in it. I don't think I'm going to do a in-frame. I've talked to some people. The cheapest in-frame I can get done for me, and then I don't know if it's going to be reliable. But the cheapest in-frame I can get done is going to run me about $15,000 to $18,000. Here we are. Here's Lincoln Financial Field, the Eagles Field. There's the Flyers. Wells Fargo Center, and the Phillies are over there too somewhere. But like I was saying, it doesn't make sense for me to put what $15,000 to $18,000 into a truck. That's the cheapest in-frame I can find. Have it done by somebody. I could take a whack at it, but I don't simply have the proper tools to be able to do it at home or the know-how. I haven't done 20 or 30 ISX in-frames, and I would rather not take a chance on 20,000, on like $5,000 or $6,000 worth of parts and a couple tows to see if I can do it. I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound like fun to me. So most likely I'm going to get. There's a place up in Scranton. It's called National Engines, I think. Yep. That has used engines that they take the bottom, they take the oil pan off, they throw in a set of bearings. I guess they check the compression on it and everything, check the injectors, and they sell them for we're looking about $7,000 to $10,000 for a used engine. That's what we're looking at, and I'll probably try to put it in if I can get a hold of the JLG at the one shop I use. I'm going to try to install an engine in it. And if I do that, there's going to be a new engine, new clutch, well, used engine, but I'm going to install the engine, new clutch, and I'll probably put a PTO on the truck. My plan is to have that truck run local or local-ish, and I have a connection with somebody that can hook me up with $130 an hour dump trailer work. And I could probably use one of his dump trailers too that he has laying around. So I probably rent a dump trailer off of him and put somebody in the truck, and I'm gonna run that. That should be at $130 an hour. That should be enough to be able to pay for the truck, pay the driver a good wage, W-2 work, mind you. I'm not doing none of that 1099 crap. And make a profit. And then when in the wintertime, it doesn't really necessarily stop, but it slows down, and we end up being one of the unlucky ones that see the slowdown hit us hard while doing dump work for that company. I'll just rent a reefer unit or something, or have him come over here and have him run some loads over here, dedicated loads. So that's the plan with that.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change. Play the game that we say. I need a break. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on. I'm staying strong, need to move on to be what I want. I'll keep dreaming on.
There's only so many times you can come up with a plan and have it fail, and you're just like whatever. And I know a lot of guys that are out there that are just running their business now like whatever. There's a couple of people I talked to that were still with AFC that say, they're running primarily the Midwest doing flatbed work, but they've seen their gross drop down from, back when the heyday, about a year ago. It all depends. Your truck payments, insurance, trailer rental, if you have one, and then, the percentage, you're signed up with a carrier, that when you get hard times like this, that's when that stuff really tends to matter. That's when you start worrying more and more about the percentage you're paying, what you're renting trailers for. Me, to be honest, I thought most of this was over. I've seen really bad markets like this. I figured 2008 was pretty much the epitome of it. 2019, it really wasn't that bad. 2019. I know everybody was like, "Oh my God, 2019," but that was just because they were so used to the rates, of 2018. They were hot, they were inflated. They were high rates. It was easy to get money. You could practically follow the truck onto a pile of money. And, they just got used to that. So that's why 2019 was so bad for most people. But it really wasn't. It really wasn't that bad. If you know what you were doing and you prepared yourself, 2019 was a cakewalk compared to what it seems like is happening now. And it just sounds like it's getting worse and worse and worse. I don't know. I don't really know anyone per se that's like losing their shirt and going under like super bad, but they're out there on YouTube talking about it. And there's a couple guys that were doing real well that have had to change what they're doing, have had to do different things, and they're not gonna talk about how close they were to losing their shirt. But they obviously made a change for a reason. Either they had good business sense and they saw where things were leading up to, or they were about ready to lose their shirt. I hung into the spot market as long as I could. I thought it would at least come back a little bit. I thought we'd ride the wave here until at least the summer of 2023. Well, that never happened. And I stayed with the carrier that I was at because I enjoyed the work environment. I enjoyed what I was doing. I knew them per se. I had a relationship with that carrier, and it bit me in the butt. I should have got out earlier, and even then, if I would have got out earlier, the bad luck that I had after that, the international blowing up, being stuck in Virginia, everything, I would have been able to pay for that. If I was here and I ran a couple extra weeks before the engine blew up, I would have been able to tow the truck home. I would have been able to pay for an engine. That's how decent and steady the money was here. Well, is here for me at least right now. And I would have been fine. I wouldn't have had to get this new truck, even though I like it. It's a lot more comfortable and probably more reliable than that international ones. Because you know what? Even after the engine got put in it, I still would have had to do tons of other stuff. If I would have just sat around and waited or got a company driving job, I would have been so far deeper in the hole by the time I would have got a job and everything. It would have been, pretty much I'd have probably been looking at bankruptcy. I would not have been able to make the payments on, the loan for the other truck, the international, and work a company job. It would have never been able to work. Between bills at home, child support payments I make, it just would have never been able to happen. And that's all on my business credit. That truck is financed through business credit. I would have been done. It would have been years before I'd ever be able to get business credit again. And I couldn't let that happen. Right now I'm paying for a truck I can't use between paying for this one. And it sucks, but I'm trying to look long term. Long term, I'm going to need that business credit. No ands, ifs, or buts about it. There's no, I'll have to eventually, if I grow, I'll have to be able to purchase other vehicles, other equipment, maybe lease a property. And if I let that truck go into default, I'm going to be set back like 5-6 years before I could ever even fathom to get anything business credit related. So, that being said, some of you guys are just like, whatever, I'll just let the truck get repoed, I'm done. If you ever think you're going to make something of yourself, see, the nice thing about owner-operator, between, being an owner-operator and working for somebody as a company driver, the harder I work, the more time and effort I put into this, now, not mind you, smart time, educated time and effort, the more it benefits me. The more you do that as a company driver, the more it benefits the company. And companies aren't exactly the way they used to be. You aren't going to get any recognition. You're not going to get a dollar raise. They're not going to make you a supervisor. You start snitching on other drivers. They're not going to make you like a honorary supervisor and driver lead or whatnot. Those days are gone. You're not going to get pensions. Your 401k. Ooh, you get a 401k. You know what's happened to my 401k 4 or 5 times in the last 15, 20 years now? Every time I get any decent amount of 401k, get up near $100,000 or something, some different president shows up or some kind of huge crisis happens, and my 401k, mind you, these are Vanguard accounts, my 401k just plummets. These warehouses, I'm not talking about the big giant warehouses, these small, where you live or places that you might drop off. If you, let's say you got a dedicated carrier and you get done dropping off your load, stop in these small industrial parks, look and see what they have. If you notice that they have reefer trailers and stuff and you're a reefer driver, Talk to somebody. Say, hey, I drop off. I have a customer that I drop off over here a lot for. Do you guys have something steady or dedicated? Maybe we could work, a rate out or or service fee or whatnot, and I could become a dedicated carrier for you, or at least run this certain lane for you all the time. It's that easy. The worst thing they're going to do is tell you to get the F out of here. Spend an hour. Spend an hour after you drop a load off. All you're going to do is waste time with brokers anyway and franticking on the load board for an hour or more. Take some time after you drop the load off and, go see what you can get. You're just going to waste your time. That's it. You're going to waste your time anyway. Why frantically sit there on the load board for 2 or 3 hours doing multiple calls with brokers when you could just you probably have a better chance of getting a dedicated lane out of somewhere. I know it's easier said than done, and a lot of drivers don't want to talk to anybody. They're very shy. It's just what happens when you're stuck inside of the truck all day. It just, you lose that ability to talk to people. Even I get it. These YouTube videos for me to make, sometimes I get like writer's block. I just get stumped. I don't know what to talk about, what to say, and that's because for most of the day you're not interacting with anybody. And once I get going, you can't shut me up. Exactly like kind of what's happening here. But I do have to make some kind of content and stick it out there, and that's what I'm going to do. I'll make a little bit of a driving video, at least me trying to inform somebody. It's really shitty what's happened, and I know a lot of guys, it's not really their fault. They got talked into becoming a truck driver, talked into the money and stuff. Like I said, there's a hustle going on YouTube, and people selling their goods, selling their ideas, selling their time, coaching calls and everything, trying to push companies, and they're basically turned into bona fide recruiters. And it's a sad thing because most of these companies that they're working for, you've already heard enough about them. They're just conning drivers into them. And I think that's why there was such an explosion of, everybody was out for the money, either one way or another. Either through actually selling trucks and selling their information, like coaching calls and stuff. Alright, yeah, I want this exit. Or just plain out scammy stuff. Tons of scammy dispatchers, probably scammy brokers that you got now. The broker side is having the same problem that we've had with the influx of, everybody wanting to become a truck driver. Well, everybody wanted to become a broker. And it's hurting the industry. It's hurting the industry as a whole. And the only thing I could think of doing, is get off the spot market. Make phone calls. You're not doing anything anyway when you're sitting there on your 34-hour break. If it's that bad, you're running your 34-hour breaks on the road. Try not to take them on the weekend. Try to take one in the middle of the week. Try to run over the weekend, because usually freight that runs over the weekend pays better anyway. Try to take one in the middle of the week and just spend all day, 34 hours. Well, maybe not 34 hours, but, making phone calls. Trying to drum up business for yourself. That's the only thing you can really do. For guys that are leased carriers that don't have the freight and they're stuck sitting, there's only so long, a couple months you can go through that, and if it doesn't pay off and you're hurting, hopefully you decide to leave and jump to a different carrier, one that has dedicated freight, or vice versa, because the longer you stay there, the harder it is going to be to dig yourself out of a hole and take a chance. Typical Philly, we're going to have a guy trying to pass me on the bike lane here. Little does he know I'm going to make a fucking right here, I think. Yeah, that's what you thought, asshole. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I saw you stop. You don't get that too much. Yeah, but like I was saying, don't stay in a carrier that doesn't have your back right now. If you can't get enough dedicated freight or enough runs and you're sitting, take your truck and go elsewhere. Start making phone calls. I know the big thing though with this whole industry is you're going to be told what you want to hear anyway. No matter who you call up, you're going to have to actually do some digging. And when I mean digging, I mean when you're at the truck stop, you're going to have to talk to other drivers and that are on with some of these carriers and actually ask them, hey, I'm kind of hurting right now. Do you guys run a lot of freight? Do you have dedicated accounts out of where I live or anything? Are you making money? Is the freight steady? And if it is, hey, try to go to a different dedicated carrier. Look, listen to this guy. Look. Yep. Good old Philly. Apparently me doing 45 mile an hour right now, even though, there it's 35. Well, I'm doing like 42. But apparently I'm not going fast enough for them. People leaving like 25 minutes after they need to go to work. Hey, look where I am. This looks like Peterbilt. Somebody was here just the other day over here. F8 Trucking. Here's your Peterbilt. Here's your Hunter Peterbilt. Hopefully I don't have to see them. No, not Hunter Peterbilt. Hunter International. I saw a Peterbilt sitting there, but over up by where I live, Hunter Peterbilt is the one everybody knows. But yeah, Hunter International over here in Northeast Philly. I am going to be allowed 25 minutes late to my appointment. So we'll see how this goes. I wish I had more connections. I really do. I wish I could help a lot of the guys that are out there. I stumbled into the thing I have right now. I'm very lucky and fortunate for it. I'm kind of a spiritual man. Thank God, it happened and it did, even though I still had, like the problem with my, let's see, is this it? Red Line Road. No, that's not it. There it is. Even though I had the problem with my international and stuff, I still made out. Like if I didn't have this dedicated account and everything I'm doing right now, it would have been the end of me. I'd have been working some, maybe if I was lucky, $20-$25 an hour local job. Over the road, I kind of wouldn't want to do that. Well, I'd make 60 cents a mile if I'm lucky. Let's see here. No overnight parking. Of course, you're stuck in Philly and we won't give you anywhere to park. Do not show up until 2 hours before the day of your delivery. Well, at least they let you show up 2 hours delivery. Once your delivery is made, you must leave the property. Pickup, shipping, and receiving. Yeah, I'll sit there and stop and read all those signs because I don't feel like screwing anything up here. Oh, no truck stop, receiving. Well, I am going to just do a U-turn and back into a spot because I know I'm not going to be doing anything for a little bit. Nobody in there. It looks like they got plenty of parking over here. I don't know, maybe this fills up with trailers by the end of the afternoon, but for being a shipper in a city, like especially like a big city like Philly and stuff, you think they would be kind enough to let you park here overnight. But I can't blame them, though. I can't blame them. The shit I see, the trash, the fluids and bodily fluids, bodily whatever. I don't know. It's a shame. I would like to say that trucking is a commendable blue-collar worker job, but it's kind of turned into, I don't know, the low-hanging fruit, maybe, per se. Maybe there's just not enough regular blue-collar, warehouse jobs out there, and construction and manufacturing jobs out there, and everybody's just jumping on trucking. So I don't know, if they get rid of all of us, we're probably going to be, the economy's going to be up shit's creek. But I'm going to go in and check in right now, and we'll see if they don't tell me to go drop dead. So, well, I guess they're going to take me. You can't talk to a real person anyway. You drop the paperwork off there. Everybody's still, especially in these cities and stuff, everybody's still playing COVID time. So, I mean, I guess that could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. It just depends where you're at. Some of these places have got better, not having to talk to some of the people behind the counter. Other places, I don't know, it just makes you feel like you're unwanted, but, you're unwanted anyway as a truck driver usually. So, I guess I'm going to be spending most of my day here sitting around waiting. So I guess I can get some more editing done. So it's about 12:30 right now. I'm getting out of here. What is this again? I think Quaker Valley Meats or something like that. And we're in Northeast Philly. I got here at about 9:30ish, 9:20, and like I said, it's 12:30 now, so I wasn't in here that long. So they pretty much got me right in and out. We're gonna go over some numbers for the load. Let's see. I bought fuel. I filled the tank up because I figured I was going to be stuck up in the Northeast the whole time. So it was cheap fuel. I got fuel for $3.50 a gallon with my discount. That came out to 150 gallons I filled. Ooh, I didn't mark that down. I just remember. And that came out to $525.63. Now the total trip, including the empty and loaded, on this run was 322 miles. I also got paid a $250, I guess you want to say service charge or whatnot, for entering the city of Philadelphia. So the total on this load with 322 miles, $250 service charge, is $1,232. Which, if I grab my other phone, oh, it's right here. I forgot I haven't been doing per mile here. I'll take 1,232 divided by 322. So on this load total, I made $3.82 a mile. Which I guess is all right. Yeah, I guess in this market it's all right. I was just thinking about loads that I've done before. You know, go back, July of 2021, or no, not July, like September 2021 and stuff. I remember I was doing loads from Chicago to North Jersey for like $5,000. So I'm, you know, what was that, like 700 miles for $5,000? Something like that. So yeah, that's the rundown of this load. So I'm going to hit the road. I'm going to try to find somewhere to get this trailer washed. I'm guessing I'm going to try that little washout in in Allentown. And then I go back to Pottsville. I pick up for Pottsville and go down to Henderson, North Carolina for Walmart. 1 p.m. load delivery tomorrow. So that's it for right now. I got a lot of video to go through. I got a little monologue I made while I was driving through Philadelphia. So yeah, I got my work cut out for me. So I'm going to get out of here. And, you know, if you can, please like this video, subscribe, and leave some comments down below. You know, I need some, I guess, some ideas of what I could be doing here. Like I said, this kind of gets boring, you know, doing dedicated. It's the same stuff over and over. It's reefer. Flatbed, I would have so much more to give you guys, but you know, I'm trying.